We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Saturday chill stream, which I'm doing because I won't be able to do a Sunday chill stream or the coffee and hatred stream with Grizzly because I will be indisposed tomorrow. Going to meet a chick that I met last week and get some drinks and I may be indisposed tomorrow. So I figured I'd do a pre-Rule Zero stream today with my Discord people again, and we're going to be talking about a couple of things, including the topic they're talking about on Rule Zero, which is about how not to be a cuck like Prince Harry from the UK, and we will in a little bit actually get the opinion of someone who's actually from the UK. The infamous Rose Thought will be here in a bit. And right now on the panel, we have Dennis, or Deno. He's somewhat infamous as well. What's up, man? Let me we're still on the start screen. All right, there we go. I might put some memes up on there too, just to make it a bit more interesting. So how you doing, man?
I'm alright, just keeping busy. Just decided to do some university part-time instead of full-time because I'm working full-time hours anyway. And on the side, just learning languages, basically.
That could be a very useful skill. I wish I had the capacity. I guess that's just not one. I can learn a few things. I know how to cuss people out and, introduce myself and, very basic stuff in a few different languages. But otherwise, I don't know fuck all. So.
It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard work.
Yeah, but if you get fluent though, dude, and something that not a whole lot of people know very well, that opens up a lot of doors for you.
I'm thinking of being a polyglot and becoming an interpreter.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'm just having my breakfast, so
that's nice.
Don't mind me munching on. I got a banana and coffee. Hey, good morning, Plumber. He can't join us right now either. I was talking to him before I started this, so I understand his circumstance. So, yeah, dude, that's definitely what you need to do. We've talked about this before. Just focus on your studies. Forget all this drama stuff that's going on. I mean,
I haven't been paying attention to any of it.
You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. I did watch one thing because it piqued my interest, but
Hey, Plumber.
So, yeah, we're gonna skip for now the stuff with the cuck prince of cucks until the thought gets here. Anything you want to talk about right now?
I think cuckery is a symptom of a man who does not know themselves, in particular, what they want and who they are and what their boundaries are. And any cuck should consider reading Robert Greene's books, applying the lessons in due diligence every day, and really reflecting on what Robert Greene says because he has a lot of gems. I also think cuckery is a symptom of bastardized male mother need from the system.
Hey, no, sweetheart. Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you here. I agree. And a lot of guys, that's, that's what amuses me. Okay. So a lot of guys who, I guess, fancying themselves as like man's man, strong dude, and all this stuff, don't even realize that they're cucks.
Yeah.
Right. And what I've noticed about these simpy cuck types is as you said, they don't know themselves. They don't have, they aren't self-actualized and have never really worked towards self-actualizing, because once you do, you just kind of, you realize what you're doing. So I watch a lot of, when I'm out and about and I see these weak, like, cuckold type guys, they take what they can get. If it's female attention, it doesn't matter if she's old enough to be their mom or whatever. Female attention, I must have it. Like for me, I'm kind of like, I have a friend who's old enough to be my mom, but it's not like that. It's just, she's an older woman who I'm a friend of, but like if there was an older woman about that age that was like wanting to get with me and shit, that actually makes my skin crawl. I'm not even gonna lie about that. That's creepy, dude. And it has happened to me because I've
and the worst part about it is because I've been in that situation with my previous relationship. Because admittedly, pre-MGTOW, I was a bit of a cuck too. Like I probably got cheated on multiple times. What's worse is that they infantilize you in the relationship, and then their protective, baby nurturing instincts creep into the relationship, and they project it on you in a sexual kind of way. It's fucking weird.
It is weird. I think it's some kind of fetish, because I do get that. I get older women that come after me. It's partially because of my, yes, I've been described as having like a baby face. I look much younger than I am. So yeah, I get that, and it seriously makes my skin crawl. And this isn't a slight to any, if you're watching this isn't a slight to you, but I think you should really think about it and understand that maybe you could do better. Like, and that's another thing about these types of guys who think they're kind of like tough guys, but they're actually kind of cucky, simpy, is they don't realize their value. They don't realize they could do better than what they're doing if they just applied themselves and worked hard. It's actually really sad to see. I mean, think about it. I don't want to. Well, we'll get into Prince Harry a little bit, just as an example. We'll let the thought ramble about that. But think about, like, this dude is the prince of a fucking nation. Like, everybody's, it's like being like a Hollywood celebrity here in the U.S. Like a popular one that everybody knows. And that's like
an A-lister, like an A-lister.
Yeah, like an A-list actor. Like that's like Chris Hemsworth, for instance. Like, but he's not. He's actually out of your country, if I'm not mistaken. But in Hollywood, he's well known, right? That would be like him getting with some like 50-plus-year-old single mother, like, bro, you could pretty much have any chick you wanted. You pretty much just walk into a place, point, and say, I want you, and like leave with that bitch. So the prince of the Well, he gave up his title or whatever. See, apparently, well, man, I don't want to talk about that until the thought gets here. It's taking her fucking time. But you know what? Fuck it. So we'll get her opinion when she gets here. But if you think about it, she apparently talked this dude into giving up his title, and then they're bitching about they're fucking bitching about not having titles and not having security and shit. Like, you gave up your royalty, you fuck stain. Like, now you're just normal people who are really, really rich, but technically you're just normal rich people. What do you want? Again, guys, also, if you're in my Discord, we are in the general chat. If you want to join the conversation, jump on in. Feel free. I put the, I ran it as here instead of everyone because I don't like annoying people who might be sleeping. I live in the eastern part of the United States, so it's 10:30 right now. Rule 0 starts in 1 hour. So I don't want to wake everybody up, though. I'm very conscious of that sort of thing. So any opinions on that, Deno?
Time zones?
No. Just like the stuff I talked about with the former prince, former cuck prince known as Harry.
Prince, same kind of thing, right?
Sure. Like dunce at this point.
Well, he did. I was talking about this earlier with my father, and I think that I can understand the perspective that they did kill his mother, so that needs to be factored in. And he's probably resentful about that, or is kind of fearful about that. But having said that, I believe that the brother is as well. Like, the brother's kind of disgusted as well that they killed his mother too. But I don't know, he just lost what made him exceptional in the eyes of society, and Merkel, she's dragging him down. And I don't even think she's an American. I actually think Merkel's a German name. She does not sound like an American to me.
Yeah, well, you gotta learn to play the game where the game plays you. Like, I guess he just didn't like a lot of things he doesn't want to. Like, he could have got, like, I don't know, it fires me up. Like I was saying, like I was getting at, this dude could have got pretty much any chick he wanted. Decided to go with that one, who's clearly probably mentally ill. And washed up.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I'm just thoroughly amused because there's so many guys who do themselves a disservice. You see I used to see this when I was in the military, actually. So, me and the boys would go to like a restaurant or whatever, and we'd sit down, and I'd look to my left or right, and in this booth you'd see a guy who was clearly also a GI. Looked like he hit the gym all the time. Took care of himself. Obviously, partially because he has to, but this guy went, like, the incident I'm thinking of, this dude was clearly someone who went the extra mile, right? Like, he was a fucking beast. And then I saw the creature that was sitting across from it. And she took up nearly the entire, like, side of the booth. The other side. With how wide she was. And it was like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah, so I've seen this a lot with, GIs even, who, would have a lot more options. So yeah, there's lots of guys out there who just don't realize their value. Ugh, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I hate ruining things. Like, there's stuff I also want to talk about. Well, actually, since we're not doing a coffee and hatred tomorrow, I can relay this one too. There is a real problem, at least here in the U.S. I don't know what it's like there in Australia, but I've heard the U.K., as much as they like to run their mouth, like has similar problems to here. But there really is like a obesity epidemic in the West.
Yeah. That's because of the sugar diet, largely because of the sugar diet.
Yes. Well, yes, the carb, like here in the States at least, they kind of promote like a high carb diet. They tell you don't eat red meat, like avoid red meat. Fuck no, red meat is like the bulk of what I eat. I do eat vegetables and fruits sometimes, and I just finished a banana. But they want you to get all your grains, get get your grains and the food groups. I remember the food pyramid, which was bullshit. But and then did you see I think you did the study that about the soybean oil, which is Americans use a lot of that to cook in their food, and I'm really fucking pissed off about that because I got a chicken. Okay, so they have these like frozen pizzas, but hear me out. They're not great. Like obviously, frozen food is inferior to like stuff you cook yourself, which is why I cook my own meals the vast majority of the time. But it's supposed to be good for you, it's pizza, but the crust is actually made out of chicken, and it's really good. I will say that it's fucking tasty. And it's supposed to be a low carb option. So I'm looking at the ingredients because that's something I pay a lot of attention to, and it says something about isolated soy protein, and some of the ingredients were cooked with soybean oil, and I'm like, motherfucker, you fucking sack of shit, motherfucker. You can't have anything like any pre-made product here in the States will have something to do with soy on the fucking ingredients list.
Nope.
And as you know, I've been linking that's neurological study. It was done a year ago about the effects of soybean oil and what it had on mice in the experiment, and it really fucked them up, like neurologically, and even like I think they said it messed with their genetics. So I'm doing everything I can to avoid things that have soybean oil in them, and that's here, at least here in the States, people are wondering, well, why do you have so many people who like want to be trans and these like mentally ill, fucked up people? And it's kind of like, because we cook everything in this goddamn soybean oil.
I think there's more to the picture though than that. I think
definitely.
The picture also involves like the birth control pill hormones not breaking down in the urine and things like that. And again, I'm not a scientist, I can't verify that, but I remember hearing that somewhere. But the funny thing is, UC Berkeley will link the studies to the frogs, the gay frogs that Alex Jones talks about, which was a real study by UC Berkeley, but they won't link it to the effects on humans.
Oh man!
Funny how that works.
But I just can't help it. Like when you said that, immediately Alex Jones, they're turning the frickin' frogs gay.
Yep. As much of the meme that is, there's quite a lot of truth to it.
Yeah. I mean, they took him a little too literally, but I mean, he's changing the actual gender because apparently those frogs can, depending on the environment, they'll change genders.
They literally change it to females. It's not they only go hermaphrodite, or they kind of have this halfway thing. They literally change most of the frogs into females. Male frogs become like literal females.
Okay. Yeah, because I know they're like, he says it turned him gay, and they were like, well, technically, actually, that type of shit. Yeah, I mean, again, like, given you in your past, and I mean, that's not a slight to you, but I think overall, if, it can be a problem. Like if, and then there's the social aspect of it as well, right?
Yeah.
There's memes about women who are pregnant or had just recently given birth, and they're already like talking about how their baby's trans and shit, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you know that? How does a 7-year-old know that they're a trans? They barely even know the differences between boys and girls, dude. Like, how the fuck is that? How's that?
Because it's indoctrinated. It's indoctrination.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being like an asshole about it, pretty much.
It's indoctrination.
Let's see. I need to. This is neither here nor there. But
And it's so sneaky and it's so vile as to how subversive and perverted it is. Fuck, this application's annoying the fuck out of me. Typing in my details properly and it still won't fucking register my shit properly.
yeah, the thought messaged me and said she's gonna jump in here shortly. So we'll have a British thought here to speak her mind in a moment.
And fire salvos of verbal artillery.
Yeah, I definitely got to work on my shit here. Just the visuals. I'm definitely gonna have to redo like the opener, the intro, stream intro and outro. Just a lot of work I'm gonna have to do. I got too much shit going on though, because I'm working towards a career change.
Oh,
to what I really want to do. I'm
career change.
definitely.
Career change.
I'm still working the 9 to 5, but right now, but I will definitely be. I have to pass an exam and do different shit, to get to this. It's worth it though. It's worth putting in the work. That's what a lot of people in this world need to learn. It takes work, sacrifice to get where you want to go in life. So. Yeah. Enjoy the journey. Boy.
More or less, I guess.
Yeah, man. Because I've been meaning to do a video about that particular topic. Because if you don't want your life to pass you by, the next thing you know, you're old. I mean, and I can reflect on that because there's a good chunk of my life where I was just going through the motions, going to work, coming home, getting on the vidya, drinking, just wasted. I wasted a few years of my youth doing that stupid shit, which is not to knock video games or drinking entirely.
I wasted too much of mine chasing girls and their approval.
Yeah.
And everyone else's approval. I could have achieved so much more if I weren't such a fuckstick about my career.
Yeah. I never really chased them all that hard. Actually, I passed up on some opportunities, actually. That I don't regret passing them up, but I kind of realized, like, when I think about certain things that happen, I'm like, that girl was actually legitimately interested in me, and she probably wouldn't have been a bad pick. But is what it is. I'm in a better position now, so. But yeah, I never really chased all that hard. It's kind of like I was just when I went to go get the footage that's on the screen now that you guys, if you're watching the stream right now, I went and for the explicit purpose of recording, getting footage of the waterfall.
How sweet.
Oh God!
Just for you, Rose. Just for you.
Anyways, let me finish
you.
my
I
let me finish my thought before the thought starts flapping her gums. So I went to go get this footage, and like there was this chick down there, and we started talking and hit it off. So I wasn't trying to meet anybody; it just happened. Anyways, how you doing, Thought? What are you doing today?
Today, I made myself a cup of tea. Now that I have milk,
Oh boy,
that is all. You.
a British Thought drinking tea. Who would have thought?
Pratt life.
Yeah, Pratt Lives Matter. So we did talk a little bit about the Cuck Prince. What's the best way? The former Prince Cuck, known as Harry. Give us your a little bit of.
What?
Who?
What?
You don't know? You don't know who I'm talking about?
No, you've lost me. What?
All right. I mean, the Cuck formerly known as Prince Harry. How about that? That's what.
Oh, okay, yeah. I went somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Of course you did, because you're filth. So give us your input on that. What do you think of that as a citizen of the UK?
Absolute embarrassment.
And why?
He should have his nationality. He should have his nationality stripped from him. So.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But get into specifics.
Well, like he's going along with what this Megan bitch has been like saying, and like he's been throwing shade at the British Empire, which is kind of funny because well, one, if it wasn't for the British Empire, Megan would not exist properly. She would have never been born, and she's half white, so she's a contradiction within herself.
Yeah. Well, I think I've told you before. This is not a slight to anybody. But just in my experience, I've found that like the people who I've encountered who were half white seem like they were the most racist people
They are.
against white people. I mean, that I've ever met. Just in my experience.
Well, it goes deeper than that. What I've noticed, a lot of them are actually fascists. Yet they're trying to pretend that they're fighting fascism while actually being fascist to anyone that happens to be white.
Just so you guys know, with the definition of fascism here, we're going by the Italian definition, which means to bind, including ideologically to bind. So
Yeah, so
yeah, that definition.
On top of
Yes.
that, right?
Mussolini fascism.
But on top of that, right, she was welcomed by the British public, before she decided to be a complete and utter bitch. Like, people accepted her. And you know what? No one actually, I didn't even know she was black. I didn't even know she was half black. Honestly, I didn't care. She was just some woman that was marrying one of the royals. That's all I thought about it. I did not care. I don't look at people and go, you know what? He's that colour. Oh, he's that. I don't care. It's irrelevant to me. Like, I don't think I care about is if you're a decent human being or not.
Mm.
But, so, this fucking bullshit. Yes, there are racist people, on this earth. But unfortunately, that is a part of human nature.
Yep.
You can't get rid of it. It's there. Deal with it.
Black pillin', bro. Black pillin' like a villain. Absolutely correct.
Hmm.
Well, it's true. Everyone is prejudiced in some way.
Yeah.
And racism comes into that.
Facts. We are tribal. We are a tribalistic species.
I see the plumber in the chat. He's a little behind. I think he's he's watching
He's watching.
Several
watching.
minutes behind.
I'm
It's hard to have it's hard to have a conversation when you're
always
behind.
watching.
Yes.
Rezowski.
Creeping through the blinds.
Exactly.
Always watch.
All right, so what do you think of him? All right, Thought. Here's a question about your cuck prince.
He's not a prince.
What do you? I know.
He's
you
not a
mentioned,
prince.
You mentioned that earlier. That,
He's not even wrong.
all right,
I
before
like
I,
British.
before I ask you this
He's the
question,
prince.
before I ask you this question, Thought, let me ask you a question about that. So, did Meghan convince him to give up his title? Is that how that happened?
More than likely, but like,
Okay.
like the people that he went to army with, so they weren't surprised. So maybe he did think about it, which is pretty normal for someone of that status.
Okay.
You know, like they might consider, you know, what life would be like if they weren't royal or, you know, famous, whatever. But I think the main decision was Meghan.
Okay.
And then and on top of this, by the way, she's bitching about racism because her son will not have a title. Well, guess what, bitch? You decided not to be royal anymore. Therefore, your son doesn't have a title because he was still in you when you decided to not be a royal anymore.
What's up, Kaiser Venom? Okay, so what I was trying to get out of you is whether there was actually like explicit evidence that she convinced him to give up the title, or you know, but it doesn't sound like it. But everybody presumes that, and it's probably likely the case. But we can't say for definite. Is that correct?
That's my assumption.
Okay.
But I think the main decider was Meghan. At the end of the day, I think she also wanted. No, he was already, you know, kind of like making his exit out of the door, kind of right, standing near the line, and she just gave the final push.
Do you think that it had anything to do with what happened to his mother? I know Dennis said that earlier, and it's plausible, I think.
I think it's a factor, but then again, why is the brother still trying to keep the throne?
The brother doesn't need to try and keep the throne. It's a given that he's going to have the throne, and then his children will probably be in line. But likelihood is the father's going to be first.
Gotcha. Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, tell us what you think of Prince Harry as a man.
He's not a man; he's a woman. Talking about.
Damn.
All right.
So
Now,
he should be Princess Harriet.
there you go. Now elaborate on that. Be a little bit more specific.
Behaves like a woman. Does like you should actually watch some of the videos at these events that he went to Meghan with. Right, he was always meant as not just because he had more status. Because within the royal family, it's about status. So the person with the highest status, you walk behind them. So everyone would walk behind the Queen because currently, she has the top status. Meghan decided she's going to walk in front of her husband, and it's just like that's not how we do it here, bitch. And she didn't. See, getting confused already. Wolf. He didn't even, try and stand up for himself. I just see him as a pushover that behaves like a woman and seems to be more frightened of standing up to his wife. And everything has to be her way. And it's embarrassing. It's like he doesn't really have a voice of his own. He's just kind of like nodding and agreeing with everything she does. Like that thing that they did, that embarrassing, I don't even know what you'd call it. I guess a statement about the British Empire, right? He was just nodding and agreeing with her while she was spewing her fucking verbal vomit.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Probably one of many reasons why the British public despise him now. Congratulations, Harry.
It's kind of sad because back before he met this bitch, he seemed, like a man's man, someone I can respect. Now, granted, I did see a lot of GIs that, were blue pill or they were kind of hostages. So, like, one of the reasons I didn't get married. One of the reasons I didn't get married or like even try to get married when I was in the service is not a good environment for a family. And a lot of guys, if their wives would spend money like freaks, man, and if they tried to put their foot down, all that thought had to do was pick up the phone and call a company commander, and they would be fucked. They'd be like, "Oh, he's not letting me have access to the money." And the dude would be called in the office to see the captain, and it would not go well. And they would be forced to pretty much let this fucking bitch run roughshod over his wallet. These are like, and you gotta think these are like these stay-at-home wives that they're so bored that they just spend this man's money, and he's fucking broke. Eating ramen noodles and shit. Like having an MRE was like a treat because he actually gets fucking real nutrition and shit, type of stuff. And you're a hostage. If you're married in the Army, probably the same for the Marine Corps and other branches of the U.S. military. If you're married, you're a hostage. If that wife knows what to do, you're fucked. You can't put your foot down. You literally can't because the government will cuck you. Your company will fuck you. But,
well, I don't think you can easily do that in the UK.
Yeah, I don't know how it works in the UK. I'd have to talk to someone.
No, never heard of like any of that happening in the UK. And my father is a vet. Mind you, he actually got shot by his own colleague for trying to break a fight between him, his colleague, and an Islamic terrorist. Fun times. And he had to. His colleague made him call him after he'd been shot as well.
I can't understand the words you're saying. When you laugh talk, I have no clue what the fuck they're saying. But yeah, don't tell too personal stories. Try not to do that. There's some people who are looking for any reason to talk shit about you. Well, we got about 30 minutes. I'm going to end the stream before Rule 0 starts, and that will be 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got about 30 minutes. Is there anything y'all want to talk about?
What is there to talk about?
I don't know. There's all kinds of shit going on in the world.
The art of not being a cock.
Yeah, that's kind of the theme of the Rule 0 show coming up.
Don't watch a certain coach from, the West Coast. I think he is on.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Rooster.
Yeah. Did you?
Don't watch the Rooster. Don't troll the Rooster. Just leave the Rooster alone.
See, that's what I was getting at earlier, Dennis, when I said I don't really follow that shit, but I did see.
I don't either.
That
I've been
particular
in classes
guy's
and learning French and learning Chinese.
Nice. I did see that one particular dude known as Rogue. I did see one stream he did, and I'll tell you, that made me laugh so hard.
I wish I stopped giving him bloody attention, just giving these people attention in general, because you're just giving them traction. You want them to go away, but don't want them to stay and grow a fucking audience and cause more fucking havoc than they've already done.
I don't want to dwell on the topic.
Let's do this and give them traction so their channel grows.
Thought. He's not growing a fucking audience. Stupid. It's not going to happen.
So fucking stupid. Ridiculous.
They're just using him as a lolcow like everybody else is.
Yeah, but they could be developing themselves. Like it's
Well,
kind
that's
of cutting
how this-
out.
well, that's
to
how this guy-
someone
no.
else's
There's not many
attention.
Dennis,
people.
that's how this guy
And he
actually
just
makes
manipulates
money.
them, uses them.
That's how
and
this guy makes money.
The cycle fucking continues after they get wiser, and rinse and repeat.
After what, like 4 years as well. Anyways,
So
No.
back to being a cuck and not being a cuck.
yeah,
Right.
I just wish people would just
internal
not watching
validation.
and stop
pursue
talking
internal
about it.
validation.
But they won't because they're addicted to drama.
Yeah, I know. That's what that side does. Both of them. Anyways, pursue your internal validation. Read philosophy if necessary to ask yourself
Well,
the right questions when you may not be programmed to ask the right questions when it comes to introspection, or even have a diary, like create a diary for yourself, I guess, and challenge your core beliefs, what society's told you to be, so that way you can build value on yourself, for yourself, not for, ooh, I want her approval, just for his approval. I guess simping cuts both ways as well. Someone idolizing mediocre pussy and someone idolizing mediocre penis as well.
mm,
Because of the whole trans women shit and whatnot.
I see. Yeah, we got into that earlier. Went on a slate.
what about
But it still ties in. It still ties in because people want that validation from a feminine substitute, even though they're a uterus and a womb short of being a woman, let alone the XY chromosomes and not the XX chromosomes.
Yeah, it's definitely part of what we were talking about, like working on yourself. It's, there's nothing wrong with having friends and like, kind of semi-wanting good friends, right? So I have a few good friends in my life and their opinion does mean something to me. But also I know they're not going to like shit on me to, try to get the approval of someone else, or they're not going to stab me in the back. That's why they've earned that spot as my good friends, right? Whereas like a lot of people want the approval of an acquaintance, someone they barely know, barely met, hasn't proved themselves as a real friend or anything like that, and so they will do whatever it takes to try to get this person's approval. And I know quite a few of us here on the panel, and people who probably are listening or will listen later, have had that, where it's like someone kind of throws them under the bus to try to impress some other asshole or bitch that they barely know, but they that person still wants the approval at your expense. And this is why I don't trust people that much.
Or out of spite.
Yeah, but if they do it out of spite, they were never your friend and to begin with.
Yep.
They were your frenemy. Just waiting to put the knife in your back.
Yeah, well, I think that individual doesn't have any friends. And that's how they see everybody. But we will not say any names.
I wasn't actually talking about anyone specific. I was actually generalizing. I'm just saying like people like that. Like, okay.
They never truly have a friend.
Okay, so you're generalizing, because that's what I was doing. I've had people I wasn't talking about anyone on the internet, because like I don't give people on the internet the opportunity to stab me in the back generally, but I have had that done in real life, and that's what I was talking about. But yeah, so I wasn't sure if you were talking about someone specific or whether you were also making a generalization, but I'm not like, yeah.
A bit of both, really.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I guess what I'm getting at is like, if people like that, you find them, online and offline, and they're best avoided.
All right. Well, Yeah, you know me. I will not talk shit about someone. You have to earn. If I talk shit about you, you've
it's got to be
earned
cut
it.
out on your
You've
end.
really like pissed me off.
like
DDK.
Yeah,
Breakfast in bed.
like that retard. Yeah, like he's earned his spot as far as getting shit talked, and I haven't really talked too much about him. I'm just actually, that reminds me. Let me see. I have not checked the court in probably about a week almost. I'm very interested. Inquiring minds want to know. They want to know whether Slabo's failure has happened yet. So let's find out.
Probably not.
Nope. We'll find
I expect
out.
it'll be another 2 weeks, perhaps.
Perhaps. Well, I mean,
Perhaps next month.
it's been over a month since it
Me the
was
fuck off.
submitted on the briefs. But
I give up.
it'll come soon.
And
And
you're
then, then you get in the
Try
pimp
to
smack.
apply. I'm just trying to apply for something, and then it keeps like not submitting my information, which is bullshit because it's correct. It keeps not knocking me back. It's pissing me the fuck off.
Technology.
KaiCast website.
Technology is annoying. Yeah.
I gotta chill.
Yeah, this is a chill stream, man. Chill stream. That's why it's Saturday chill stream. If you want, we can. If you want to rage, we'll on the next Coffee and Hatred, we'll have you on. You can rage all you like because that's sort of like.
Nah, I'm just annoyed at a small thing that's related to my career. It's only related to my career, which is why I'm pissed off about it.
This is, that show is going to be based around Grizzly rants. So.
Ooh, juicy.
I think you were there last time, and you couldn't hear me on the stream, so it's just kind of
Nope.
Grizzly going.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah,
I was looking forward to a good Grizzly rant. When Grizzly rants, it's like watching a minigun go off, because once it starts, it takes a while to stop.
Oh yes, it sure does. But yeah, you couldn't hear me on that one, so.
Because you're crap.
We will fix the technical difficulties that occurred and get
Noob.
done. Probably next Sunday morning, and that would be like the evening for you, Dennis. But yeah, we'll handle that issue. All right, we got about 20 minutes left. Well,
So, not being a cuck.
not being a cuck.
Alright, I do have a question for the panel. How does one control their passions and their desires and their emotions? How does one control themselves?
Well, I can tell you.
With a straight jacket.
Yeah, you could do that. Well, that's what we need for you, is a straight jacket and a rubber room. But as far as with me, I just learned it through discipline. Because there are consequences to when I do let my emotions free. Right? It's do you remember the video I asked you about from Spetsnaz? I actually acquired it because it's on BitChute, so I have that now. But he's talking. It's the one about the meditations of Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, I've got that video saved.
One of the things he says, that Marcus Aurelius says, that he's reiterating is, how about the consequences, or how much worse are the consequences of anger than the causes of it. And that's a lesson I learned a long time ago. This is, it's just discipline. And believe me, I can be in a room with someone who I want to
tear to shreds.
Yes.
Scream at.
To say that nicely. Yes. And I can be entirely professional with them. I mean, they might not even know that I want to fucking rearrange their face for them. They might have no clue. I don't know. Some people are actually very intuitive. Like, that's just a skill I learned. Like, I can tell if someone wants to punch me in the face, even when they try to hide it. People give off, I don't know about aura, but they give off vibes, right? But some people are very ignorant to this. But yes, for me, it's just discipline. And that's something I learned, not just from my upbringing, which is primarily one of the only things my father ever taught me, aside from how to behave in a more masculine way, but also military and working for the government in a, pseudo military fashion. And that's been about half my life of being in that sort of militaristic environment and getting paid for it. That's about 14 years of my life.
Long time.
And you can't just let when you're in that environment, you can't just let your anger take hold of you, or there are consequences for that. Like the Marcus Aurelius quote. A lot of times the consequences of your rage are a lot worse than whatever caused you
to be angry in the
to
first
lose
place.
your cool. Because you can't undo what happens when you let it go. So that's why with me, there's a time and a place to unleash that. Or I channel it in a different way. I'll make a meme or a video. I turn it into comedy.
Yeah.
I might be pretty pissed about something, but I'll turn it into something funny. Make fun of idiots.
Comedy doesn't always work for me personally, but this is a lesson I am learning, I guess.
Sure. Find what works for you. You're not the same as me, or
I think I need a physical element of exercise when shit really gets to me from the inside out.
Physical exercise, artistic expression. At least that works for me. I don't have all of my training equipment where I'm at. Some of it's in my parents' house.
Mm.
It's like 7 hours away. But I actually have one of those bags that fucking El Slavo was talking about.
Mm.
It's not a punching bag, really. It's one of those things you put water in the bottom and you punch it. But I don't have that at my current location. I'll eventually go get it and put it to use, but that's a good thing. I mean, they're not particularly expensive either, Dennis. So if you need something, the only thing I will say about them is if you live in a house with people, it's kind of loud. So
yeah.
if you were hitting it, it would disturb them.
It'll disturb my father for sure.
Yeah. So, but if you had if you have a yard and maybe a shed, or bring it out back, just out of the house, it might not be as bad. But sometimes it's good to hit shit done, exercise, unleash your fury.
I do push-ups.
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? I might start my day with some push-ups.
Yeah, do something masculine, lift. If you got some dumbbells
and
lift, that helps a lot.
There's a gym near me actually that I can access 24/7, but that's within walking distance.
Good.
And then I might actually take up that offer when my next paycheck comes, because I kind of overspent this month. And then yeah,
I bought a fucking treadmill, and I'm gonna be getting more dumbbells and shit, more equipment at my current location. So I have that release, and at least in my case, using my firearms in a safe manner, that's very therapeutic. Call it trigger therapy.
I
Hmm.
wish I had that option here. Too bad I don't.
Yeah, right now ammo's too expensive, so I haven't done that in quite a while.
Understand. That makes a lot of sense. Plus, ammo is probably really precious right now.
It's very precious, and dude, they're for a lot of the calibers that you speak, really, really cheap. You know, very common calibers. It's over $1 per bullet.
$1 a bullet now.
Yes, because there so
Is
many
the
people buying it up. Yeah.
craps trying to buy them.
Well, supply and demand. When the virus,
Yeah.
the fact that they stopped producing it for a while because everybody was locked down, the panic buying, just all sorts of factors have gone into this. So now the supply is low and the demand is high.
Price goes up.
What about you, Thought? Have you been writing your novel?
Ooh.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I can recommend a
Uh,
good program that can help you publish, actually.
Don't want to give too much away, but she's been writing
Affinity
stuff.
Publisher. $40 program, which you don't have to buy licenses for again and again, and you can like publish and format pages the way you like.
Yeah, I actually need to write the bloody thing first.
That's what I was
I
gonna say.
know, but I'm saying Affinity Publisher can help you like format it and make it look nice without you having to like pay a publisher to do it.
Was that you
One-time
telling me,
fee.
Thought that there's like this program that basically helps you write everything?
What?
Maybe that was someone else I was talking to.
Maybe.
But it helps you kind of like formulate the book, plot, characters, and everything. It provides structure for your novel. I don't know if that was you or someone else I was talking to about that.
I think it was someone else.
Okay, probably. Okay, yeah, probably somebody else who was telling me about that. I'll be working on the Sonny Crockett novel, by the way. I've
No.
been doing a lot of brainstorming about the Sonny Crockett novel.
Yes.
It's going to be really, really good. I'm still doing a lot of brainstorming I got to do, but
what are you gonna call it? 50 Shades of Rage.
all right. So I have the original book. I haven't come up with a working title for the original book yet, but there's going to be a prequel book that comes after the original book, and that's going to be called. Well, I don't know if I want to give that away. Do you know the? I guess I will. You know, someone can try to steal it. They can try to steal it if they want. Nah, they won't care to steal my shit. So do you remember the movies from the 90s called Falling Down?
Oh, I remember that
Right,
movie.
so this is going to be called Falling Up: The Rise of Crockett. So, in other words, the prequel book will be how Sonny got to the position that he was in the original book that I'm writing. So I'll have to make notes for the prequel as I'm writing the first one. Now, if some of you guys don't know who Sonny Crockett is, and I'm not talking about the character from that old show.
No, this guy's definitely a character of some kind.
That's where he got his name from, because he's a little older than me, and he liked that TV show. Yes, I have, Plumber. I have seen that. Very good. It's a very good video. But yeah. See, the thought here, she doesn't like the book because of there's going to be a character inspired by her. And would you, Dennis, take a guess at what she's going to be in the book?
She will be the...
She hates
I
it.
don't know. She will be the donkey master, the verbal chastiser of the main protagonist.
Not quite.
Not quite. She knows. She knows. She's
No
preparing.
fucking A.
She's prepared.
Or she might be the Kleiner Rosie.
She's going to be her
Little
character.
Rosie.
The character based on her. Actually, that may be a good idea for a last name, but I want to get this out. Like, I just find another word for donkey in another language or something.
Eon.
Yeah. She's going to be one of Sonny Crockett's harem slaves in the book.
Ooh, I like
Yes.
that idea.
Fucking awful.
There's no lost love between them, by the way. In real
And
life.
please make her wear a chain.
Drink bleach and die, Wolf.
Please make her wear in the novel a chain around her
Oh,
neck like she's Leia from episode 6 of Star Wars.
There you go. So you can give her a chain bikini.
Dennis,
And a hot metal bikini.
I'm going to physically
I
hurt
will be
you.
honest. There actually is going to be some small Star Wars influence to the novel. That just I don't want to give everything away, but
And with the Force, Sonny Crockett will spank Rose on the ass a few times.
Oh my
I just
God,
haven't-
you guys make me sick.
she hates it.
I love it.
I have come up with
Fucking
a.
awful.
I think it's better than my idea.
So instead of Rose, she's gonna be. I decided I'm gonna call her Daisy because sticking with the flower theme.
Fuck off.
Kleiner Daisy.
So if you guys ever do
No.
if you do ever get the
Just
book, that's
no.
you know who that is.
Suck a dick.
Kleiner Daisy Rosie, the Pratt slave.
No. Just no.
Yeah, there's gonna be other. Again, I'm gonna insert a lot of people who I've encountered in the sphere, I guess, into the novel. But obviously, there's not gonna be like all direct copies of like who you guys are, but they're gonna be inspired. So,
Plumber.
I mean,
Shut up.
the character Daisy's obviously gonna be a wino harem slave. So
No.
can be drunk saying goofy shit, just like the real thought.
I don't even drink anymore, which is really sad, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. There might be a stepladder scene. Maybe.
No, stepladder, no.
See, it depends on how she behaves. There might be a scene added to the book.
I
We're
like this
making
idea.
sense.
If she's a good girl,
Can I-
I might keep.
Can I
that
help
scene in.
collaborate on this idea?
If you want,
No, you can't.
yeah. If you want to
Shut
help,
up.
Dennis, if you want to help me brainstorm,
Yes.
No,
I would
you've
appreciate
not.
that.
No, no. Yeah, of course you would appreciate it, bastard.
Yeah, she's yeah. I'm not sure how important her role will be, but I'm sure it'll be funny.
And then by the end of the book, Rose becomes blacked as in Devon Stack Blackbeard.
We'll see. We'll see.
Or maybe one of the German boys tries to save Rose at the end.
We'll see.
A
There
guy
will
named Mr. Schneider Schmidt, Mr. Schneider Schmidt or something. Schmidt Schneider. SS.
I think it'll be worth reading, even if I think it'll be pretty well written. I've got an
Internet taking
editor.
a shit again.
I already have someone who I've picked out to be the editor who will get to see, kind of look through the chapters and stuff. Someone I trust.
Ooh.
I gotta get started. I just got too much shit. That's gonna be one of my side hustles, writing the book, and it's gonna make SJWs read. I will say
Good.
that they're gonna hate it, and they're probably gonna want my head on a platter because reasons you have to see.
I need to make this meme. This meme's been on my mind for a while, actually.
Okay.
Does Discord keep shit in the bed and everything going very, very quiet?
I think
Mine?
that's on your end because I'm picking up like Dennis is coming through perfectly. Your comment, when I do hear you, you're coming through. So I think it's on your end.
Could be on your
Fuck.
end.
But I don't know why. My connection says it's fine. I don't know. Maybe it's the machine itself.
It could be. Could be. Maybe you're updating or something. But anyhow, it's almost 11:30 my time. This has been pretty interesting. So let's get closing thoughts. We'll start with the thought.
Don't be a prat, I guess. Wolf, Dennis.
I'm always a prat at heart, you know this.
Okay.
No, a little shit.
That too.
Dennis?
All I can say is definitely consider the Robert Greene series. Master your mind, master your body, master your thought processes and conscious and subconscious beings. And do what's beneficial for you, and don't seek validation from others, because I think that's where the source of simpery and cuckery actually comes from.
I agree. It's the source of a lot of fucking problems. This is honestly, this is the reason people stab each other in the back over dumb shit. It's because they're incomplete as a person. You can't say it's all the cause of the drama, because people make money off of the drama, and that's their prerogative, whatever. So if you felt like I was talking about you, I'm not really talking about you in specific, but don't take it as like I'm sitting here insulting you, or I think this or that and the other thing. Maybe you should take it as...
Or better yet, grow a pair and get over it.
Well, that too, but...
Mean words on internet don't mean much. Grow up.
That too, but you should also take it as constructive criticism rather than like me trying to hurt you or something stupid like that, or me backstabbing you. It's constructive criticism. I mean, I'm used to that in the environment that I've lived in for many years. People aren't trying to tear you down to make themselves feel better all the time. There's a certain type of person that does that, right? Some people will just be brutally honest with you and give you some constructive criticism.
Like Russians and Slavs.
So take that as a sign maybe you need to improve. But I mean, I really wasn't talking about anyone in specific, aside from a certain golf hat wearing guy who appeared on a dude's stream and got absolutely fucking humiliated on that stream. And he
always gets humiliated.
Yes, but this was
he does it to himself every single day of his life.
This was probably some of the best humiliation I've ever seen, and he thought that they were like on his side when that's, if you haven't watched that, I suggest you do.
Pretty golden.
He thought they were like and they did hear him out, right? They let him speak his mind, and they were pretending.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, they were pretending to be objective, and then towards the middle, you start to see like, oh, okay, these guys are they've been humoring him, and then at the end, towards the end is when it really got good, where they just let him have it, and he just was taking it, and there's nothing he could really say. So
#wrecked.
Yeah. So that's probably one of the funnier streams I've seen in a long time. I try to stay out of that bullshit for the most part, because I got other things. I got to work on a career change. I actually got I spent some of my wonderful stimulus money on equipment for this career change.
Ooh.
And that's probably where the $1,400 that I'm going to get is coming from too. I'll be buying more shit that I need for this career change. Plus paying for the exam. Thank you. You fucking dirtbags devaluing the currency. Well, I'll make the most of it. And to answer your question, Plumber, Rule Zero will be on Modern Life Dating channel. Sorry, I answered that late.
You should see that meme that I dropped in general.
All right, yeah, we'll It is now 11:30, and Rule Zero has started,
Mm-hmm.
and I need more coffee. So, thank you all who showed up and listened, and those of you who watch, in the post, appreciate your viewership, and hopefully more good stuff to come in the future. We'll see you guys later.
Ladders.